Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Start McCleary. I'm Sean, and today we are going to talk about the flip side of years, and we're going to talk about the top 10 best years of NASCAR, in my opinion, of course. Talk about why they're so great. Talk about some of the best highlights. Talk about some great things that happened in the year, and all that good stuff. So, why don't we get started? And of course, before I do the top 10, I would like to do an honorable mention. I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. The honorable mention I'm going to do is 2005. I mean, it was considered an underrated year for NASCAR, but we did have great finishes, great battles, and we did have some great stories. It just didn't reach the height that 2004 did. And spoiler alert, that year will be on there. So I put 2005 as an honorable mention because it didn't get the credit that it deserves. Number 10 on my list is going to be 1995. It was technically the first year of NASCAR's peak and Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte's prime. It created exciting racing, great rival between Jeff Gordon and Dale Sr., more contenders and underdogs in the season with many great battles with different drivers, and with Jeff and Dale racing for the championship at the end with Jeff Gordon winning it. It was such a great story that we had in 95, and basically the start of a new era in NASCAR. But let's get on to number 9. Number 9 on my list is going to be 2009. The reason why I put 2009 on this list, because the great thing is this is the great comeback of Mark Martin, who was a major contender for the championship next to Jimmy Johnson. Jeff Gordon being consistent all year and winning a race for the first time since 2007. Tony Stewart starting his own team with Gene Haas and performed amazing with 4 wins, and he was another contender for the title. Kurt Busch having a comeback after having big struggles for most of 2006 through 2008. Winning 2 races and finishing the highest among the non-Hendrick drivers. And of course, the racing and the quality of competition improved over 2008. So that's why I put 2009 on this list. Let's go on to number 8. Number 8 on my list is going to be 2003. It was the last year of the Winston Cup era and saw one of the most memorable races of all time at Darlington with Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven, with Craven winning at 2/1000ths of a second. And what was a consistent performance by Matt Kenseth by finishing in the top 10 25 times. And despite winning once, he won his only championship by a large margin. And then Bill Elliott, who announced that he will be retiring from full-time racing at the end of 2003, had a great ending by winning his last race at Rockingham and becoming a major contender at Homestead. Unfortunately, he had a flat tire and finished 8th, but he continued to race part-time in 2004. But 2003, even though it was the last year of Winston Cup, it saw some great performance by a lot of races throughout the year. But anyways, let's go on to number 7. Number 7 on my list is going to be 2011. Or should I say 7-Eleven? But after a mediocre year in 2010, NASCAR changed from the ground up with a new point system, the best looking car tomorrow we have, Alan Bestwick back in the booth for the first time since 2004, and the best aero package with the car tomorrow. Throughout the season, we had underdog wins, slump-busting wins, great finishes, and big height with drama. With a great championship battle at the end with Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards, with Tony winning the tiebreaker, making it more feel like a story. That's why I put 2011 on this list. Let's go on to number 6. Okay, number 6 on my list is going to be 1997. The booming 90s continued for NASCAR with great racing, great drivers, and great stories. In 1997, we had amazing stories with Jeff Gordon's Daytona 500 victory, Jeff Burton's breakout year, Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin, and Gordon all being major contenders for the championship, with, of course, Jeff Gordon winning it at the end. 1997 was the year that everything was on top with NASCAR when it's at its best. So that's why I put 1997 on this list. Let's go on to number 5. Number 5 on my list is going to be 2014. Probably the last good / decent year for NASCAR, as we had the only good package for the Gen 6 car, with the cars being fast, Dale Jr. having a resurgence by winning the Daytona 500 in 3 more races, Jeff Gordon having his best season in his later years and a major contender for the title. But the downside of the 2014 is the first year of this awful playoff format that we have, and Jeff getting screwed out of the championship for the last time. However, 2014 was a fun year with great racing, drama, and great drivers. That's why I put 2014 on this list. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4 on this list is going to be 1992. It was known as the greatest story and championship battle of all time, with 3 primary contenders and 3 secondary contenders with the battle for the championship. We've also seen the greatest farewell tour of our king, Richard Petty, and the start of the upcoming future star, Jeff Gordon. Despite the lowest amount of lead changes that we had in the 90s, I think we had like 420 something, it had great racing, great battles, and great comebacks, with Alan Kulwicki, who was an underdog for the championship, winning it at the end, and the first owner-driver to win the championship, which was a really incredible story. But that's why I put 1992 on this list. Let's go on to number 3. Okay, number 3 on my list is going to be 2001. It started out bad with losing a great legend and 7-time champion Dale Earnhardt. But we kept going with new channels and new commentators, with Fox taking the first half and NBC taking the second half. We had very fun racing throughout the year with the new Gen 4 aerodynamic package. We had new stars coming like Kurt Busch and Kevin Harvick. Great battles between Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon for the championship until Dale Jarrett injured himself in a crash. And then at the end, Jeff Gordon ran away with it. But 2001 was like a new era for NASCAR. It was like more of a new age for NASCAR, as like a lot has changed from the old 90s, and we went from the new 2000s. So that's why I put 2001 as number 3 on this list. Let's go on to number 2. Number 2 on my list is going to be 1999. The end of the 90s and the most lead changes that we had in the 90s. It saw some of the greatest stars at their best, like Dale Jarrett, who won the championship, had 29 top 10 finishes. Bobby Labonte, who had the most wins and the most top 10s in NASCAR. Probably the best year of his career other than his championship year. Jeff Burton, who was at his peak and being better than Jeff Gordon, who dominated the last few years. And we also saw a new great driver, Tony Stewart, who had one of the best rookie seasons by winning 3 races. And Dale Earnhardt, who had a resurgence after struggling for much of 97 and 98 and won 3 races, and also we saw the start of Dale Jr.'s career. So that's why I put 1999 as number 2 on my list. So let's go with all you've been waiting for, number 1. Number 1 on my list is going to be 2004. The reason why I put 2004 as the best year for NASCAR is because we had great competition, very fast cars, new competitive chase, and great drivers dominating. Jeff Gordon having his best season since 2001. Jimmy Johnson had one of the best years of his career by winning 8 races and becoming a major contender for the title along with Jeff Gordon. Dale Jr. having the best year of his career by winning 6 races and becoming another contender. And of course Kurt Busch, who was the best in the chase and won the championship. 2004 had the best aero package and one of the few years that we had great racing in all types of tracks. So that's why plus with the cars, style being so high off the ground and create best drag for all drivers. That's why I put 2004 as number 1 on this list and the greatest year for NASCAR. That's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you next time.